Hello again. Before we begin, I'd ask you to please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel so we can keep these going. And I enjoy bringing all of these wonderful old pieces of information to you. My last video, you saw me digging for gold when it came to the old Chrysler broadcast sheets, and I was lucky. I came up with two of them. This one, went along with the mechanical side. It was the piece that you saw if you were working on the line that came with the engine and the drivetrain. And the other one is the one that would go with the body part. And we'll go over a picture of that in another video. But what happens when you order a car, or when someone in the corporation orders a car, or if a dealer orders a car? That's what we'll look at next, because sometimes you would go to the dealership and there wouldn't be the exact car you wanted. You know, you saw something like it, or you had a friend somewhere that owned one, or you saw a commercial, and you don't see one on the lot, so you know you can actually go in and order one. Now, most dealerships really didn't like to do that. They like to sell what was on the lot because that meant they got their money in, they got it quick. And that means you have to wait a while. And even though the down payment may not have been that much, you might have changed your mind. Hard to say, a lot of reasons, but let's go into that next. And so, 1967, if you walked into a Lincoln Mercury dealer and you said, "I see nothing on your lot that suits my needs, I'd like to order a car." And this would be the same thing at any dealership of any in America, GM or Chrysler, American Motors, it didn't matter who. And they actually have what's called like a dealer data book. For Chrysler in 1966, they had two books. They had one that was about all the mechanicals and all the engineering of the car, and then they had another one for upholstery and color selections. Just so happens I happen to have this one from 1967. I was doing some work with a friend on his 68 Cougar, and he was able to pick up one of these, even though it's a 67, just for references. We worked on that car a long time ago. He decided to trade his car in to go be a sailor, so he hit the blue waters, and he handed me this book because he couldn't take it along with him. Now, if you were going to order that car, it would be very easy to just sit there and say, well, what color would this car look like if it was, say, a green, and I want to buy a particular kind of car. Let's say I want to buy a Comet, and we want Inverness green. Well, look at that. Just like if you were doing it online, you didn't need a computer. It was right there in front of you. And here you have a white roof or the same colored roof. Any of these would work for any one of these colors. And you would order these colors in an order sheet at the dealer by using their color code. And of course you have a harmonizer chart. This will tell you if you want to use solid colors on a car, or if you wanted to mix it up with vinyl tops, or have a two-tone car. And they were still making two-tone car choices. And then you had the exterior colors that were matched with interior upholstery colors. Now, this is something you probably don't get in today's car dealerships, where they actually gave samples. See the touch and feel? They wanted you to be very close to your choices. In '67, Mercury had the Monterey S55 Sport option for the big cars. They had the Montclair, the Park Lane, the Brougham, the Marquis, and then they had the wagons based basically on the Comets, and the Colony Parks based on the big cars. They also had the Comets and the Cougars. And also they had Marauders, and they deal with some of these in these other sections. As you can see, they'll give you all of these wonderful little choices and the styles of the seats, so you could feel it. and see exactly what it was going to be. Then they had a separate section for the Cougar, and they had one for the intermediates. So that these are the Cougar colors, interior, and you can see that real fabric. It's really excellent to have this if you're going to restore a car. And we see the Mercury Capri, then the Villager wagon, and you have the carpets. Yes, you have samples of the carpet color and the actual carpet itself. You'd be able to fill out your order form at the dealership using these codes. These are the same codes that would go to the factory. An interesting thing about Ford was that even though they had some options that were going to be filled into the order for the factory, Ford also had a lot of dealer installed part numbers so that the dealers could get in on the action. I have no idea for you Ford owners if that's included in a Marty report. That's probably something people might want to ask. You may have a car that has options on it that really weren't available from the factory on purpose. So that's what you had when you're going in to order a car from your local Ford Lincoln Mercury dealer. We're back here at the headquarters. So I hope that information was of some use for you, or enlightening, that that's the way we used to order cars. No computers involved at the dealership. It was all right there in front of you. You could touch things, feel things, and see it, and get a good comparison of what you wanted to have from one line of car to the next. That included engine options and drivetrain options, the whole 9 yards. So next time we'll take a look at the actual broadcast sheets that I found in my car and compare them up against the actual salesman's order sheet where he had the codes for each one of these individual items. And again, I ask that you please like and subscribe to my channel. As Red Skelton would say, wish you continued success. God bless, and good night.